Hello. So I'm just gonna make a quick video about the sled. This is a Polaris 550 RMK trail. So I learned a few things while working on it. I wanted to pass on the information in case anyone was interested. I mean, it's an old sled, so realistically not a lot of people are gonna have it, but maybe there's a few tips you can pick up from this video. I had replaced the starter, so you can see the starter is right here. The original, it was basically dead. It wasn't turning over at all. So I replaced that. The issue was, so I installed the new one and then it wasn't firing, it wasn't turning over. It turns out that this was not grounded properly. So what I had been doing was I was checking continuity with my multimeter between the positive all over, just to make sure up into the starting system here. I was like, oh man, why isn't it working? And then I just tweaked this and moved it around a little bit, got it seated properly, and then it fired right up. So that was a little bit of a learning experience. I spent a lot of time trying to track down what the issue might be. If there was a loose connection somewhere, it turns out it was just, yeah, it was loose. The other thing I wanted to mention while working on this was the hyfax. So the other ones had burned through. Not having ice scratches on this, if you don't have good enough snow, well, you're gonna, anywhere, doesn't matter where you are, you're gonna burn through them. So I just wanted to quickly mention what I learned. Well, it's just, if you have track windows, it's really easy to hammer these through that track window. All you got to do is loosen this front bolt here. It's a little screw. You can see that goes right through. You can fire it through your track window, through the slide and up into your rail. So you just loosen that. I used a chisel. I made a little groove in this, and then I used a pry bar and a sledge, and I just hammered that out through the track window. Now to get it back on, I greased up the rail with lithium grease, and I just hammered it through the track window back up, and then, you know, reversed the process, basically just screwed that in at the top there. That going down here, the track tension, I just wanted to comment on as a learning experience too. I set it to spec, what the manual says. I don't exactly recall what that was now. What I found was I just needed more, like having that little extra allows just that extra bit of snow to get in there and to lube this up. So that's what I found. Maybe in my conditions up here, that's especially, and how I ride too, it's especially prudent to do that. But anyways, that's just what I found works best. So it's pretty easy to adjust track tension. It's just these two bolts, and then just cranking them evenly and making sure you're doing that, even tracking it so that it your alignment doesn't go off on the sled. So another thing I wanted to mention too, heading back to the front of the sled, is the speedometer. So for a while it was not working. What had happened was that wire just it seized over time. So I replaced the wire. As you can see, it runs straight from there up to your speedo, direct connection. And also you can see there's a gasket around that unit. So I just bought that gasket, both the wire and the gasket, on Amazon, and that was way cheaper than buying you know, a pre-cut gasket, and saved me a lot of money for that. Next thing I worked on was inside there, the oil sending unit. I just made sure that it was lined up properly. These carbs are jetted for winter, like deep winter, and it runs fine. What I do find is the plugs do gum up a little bit when there's a huge temperature difference and you're starting, and if you let it idle. That's something I kind of learned. I don't let it idle too much, you know, and I do try to you know, give it a lot of throttle too once it's good to go. Keep the plugs happy, basically. So that was a bit of a learning curve too. Okay, and let me see, I have a little list here. Oh yeah, just a fun little thing too, I thought I'd mention. Another money saver tip. So these guys at the front. So this is the air filter. Behind here is a foam filter. So the regular foam filters, I forget how much they are, like 40 bucks or something. It's expensive. So I just got aquarium foam filter on Amazon. And this, I 3D printed on my Bamboo Lab P1S. I printed that. I made it a bit a bit wider than this. I cut it out with scissors, and then I pushed it in, and now it actually kind of looks kind of good, so I'm kind of happy with that. Anyways, I think that's it. I think we covered most of everything, actually. Yeah, so overall, I really do enjoy this sled. It's been very reliable, very fun to drive. One last thing I'll mention, this bolt right here, that's for your chain tension, and all you have to do is just finger tighten that. So loosen that bolt, finger tighten that back up, and that will give you the proper tension. There's no set spec for it in the manual, just finger tight. So yeah, other than that, I think that is it officially for this little review of things I've learned. But yeah, if you do have any questions, I can do my best to accommodate and to help you out. But yeah, no, I just enjoyed this sled so much. Great sled, and still going. It's a 2010, still going. So I'm sure the new owner will enjoy it quite a bit. Take care, guys.